All right, what's up, America? This is the Super Awesome Dude Podcast, the Super Awesome Dudes Get Shit Done. I am your host, Chris Lombardi. With me, as always, I got Seth Olson. What's up, Seth?
What's up, guys? High fives all around.
Resident Seth in the house.
You could speak. Now you can speak. What's up, Nick?
Can I speak now?
You can speak now. What's up, Nick?
Resident Seth in the house, and also Nick. What's up, America?
All right, what's up, guys? Recently, we've been changing it up, doing something a little different. And this week, I'm podcast, and it's going to be no different. We're going to do something different again.
It's going to be no different for that we do something different.
Different because it's different. Before we started this podcast, Nick was telling us about how he's in a little bit of a slump. Slumps are inevitable. When you're highly motivated people, that motivation is not going to last forever. You're going to hit peaks and valleys, and sometimes you hit those valleys hard. It could feel like you're never going to get out of them. It could feel like you've lost all momentum. It could feel like just nothing's really worth it. What I want to do now to tell us, but then I want us all to brainstorm ideas how we can get out of slumps. Look back on all the slumps that we have hit and how we got out of that. Analyze our previous experience so that we could not only avoid. Slumps are really unavoidable. You can't really. It's like baseball. You're gonna slump. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. But how can you make sure it not affect you in the long term and that it doesn't overextend its day? So to get it started, Nick, tell us a little bit about what you're going through right now.
Okay. So every once in a while, as Chris said, I kind of go through, it's usually just like a day where I'm just kind of down. And it's really hard for me to stay motivated to get my goals done. And, I just kind of work through that day, and then usually the next day comes around, and I'm good. And I'm back to getting shit done and being super awesome. But today and yesterday, kind of both the same. I just kind of got home from work, and I don't know if I was tired or what, but it's just I was super unmotivated to do really anything towards my goals. Just wanted to sit around, watch TV, do unproductive things. So hopefully, like before, it's a little longer than usual, but hopefully like before, I just gradually get out of it. And tomorrow I'll be back to being my same super awesome self. But in case that doesn't happen, I've been kind of brainstorming some ways that could help me get out. I have been switching up my routine a little bit. As we talked about a couple weeks ago, I was having trouble with that. It was getting kind of stale. I have yet to be able to consistently get that going yet, but that might have something to do with it. So maybe start thinking about other ways to get me going again. So I guess I'll open up the floor to you guys.
So that's cool that you already started brainstorming some ways by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did your idea was to change things up. Is that what I remember?
Sorry, you were kind of in and out. Can you repeat that?
So the thing that you did to get out of the slump, the thing that you thought of to get out of the slump was to change your ritual, but you weren't able to consistently kind of put that together just yet, and you're hoping to do that in the future?
Yeah, that was more of just I was kind of skipping the morning routine thing, and I didn't want to really give up that time in the morning. But what I had been doing before was kind of getting stale, and I wasn't too motivated to get up doing it. I was still able to come, home from work and get stuff done. That's kind of different from what it's been going on the last 2 days. But yeah, so then maybe I'm kind of trying that transition time. Maybe I don't know if it's just a coincidence or that might have something to do with why I'm being a little bit less motivated when I get home. But that's definitely where I want to start because work's been fine. I haven't been stagnant at work or anything. It's just kind of been getting home. So maybe just start it at the very least, get stuff done in the morning in case this continues, and then maybe being productive in the morning will help jumpstart the rest of my day.
All right, this is great. I love that we're focusing on this, that we can tell all of America some things to do to get out of slumps. Everybody hits these slumps. These are totally normal. I think one of the biggest ways to make sure a slump doesn't overstay its welcome is to know that it's normal. And it seems like you're already there, right? That slumps are inevitable. They're a totally normal part of the process. If you never thought about quitting and that your goals aren't large enough, so I think it's a good sign that you're in a slump in a way. It's just all part of the process, and it seems like you already know that. So you're halfway there. Why don't you tell me some ways that you've gotten out of past life and any slumps? You're always the most upbeat guy that I know.
We're talking to Seth. Okay. That's why I laughed. Seth is the upbeat guy.
No, definitely not talking to you.
I'm like, you might think of a different person. All right, go ahead, Seth.
Well, sometimes I think it's like, one of two ways. Like the biggest thing you kind of said, you go to slumps sometimes when things get stale. And that could be, like I said, you want, two things is sometimes you're, the routine or what you're going through is too easy. You're not challenging yourself enough. It's like, almost second nature what you're doing. So sometimes you got to almost give yourself things that are hard to achieve. So you're more motivated and you're more, determined, and you're almost like there's a little more pressure. Because some people, I think especially people like us, we all feed off pressure. Like when, our back's against the wall, we put up or we shut up and, we, get what's done. But other times, sometimes
that's awesome. That's awesome. I never even thought of that. That's awesome.
But sometimes you gotta like it's on the shoes on the other foot where like things are take a break. You're almost putting too much. Sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself, and I know with especially like I do this a lot with like my workouts or my diets that like you want to be strict and you want to stick to it, but you can't. You just can't, and your body almost can't, and sometimes you gotta like treat yourself or take that rest day, and or something like that. When like I've been doing a lot of writing for my blog, and I was today I had time, but I decided what, I'm not gonna stress my mind out, so I'm just gonna take the day off and pick up again tomorrow because otherwise you just get burnt out. So it's tough to tell sometimes, but I usually find that if it's either one or the other, if I just put more pressure on myself or almost take a step back. So I believe that's two different approaches you could take depending on how you're feeling, and maybe it's a little bit of both even.
It's that you want to just stay on keep. You don't want to get comfortable with something, but you don't want to take off too much. You want it's all balanced. I never even thought about the other side. I never thought that things could be too easy and you could just get bored.
Yeah, I find that sometimes that happens. I like more professional work experience that you get to a point where I don't want to say you master a job because you always learn more, but you become so good at something that you're like, all right, and then maybe like you start slacking off and you're like, wow, like maybe like I'm not doing this as much, and then you try to take. Then it's like, all right, maybe I should take on more responsibility in my role, and especially at our age where we have, doesn't matter who you are, there's always room to grow, and we're not like as successful as we become. We're still have so much more the ladder to climb.
No. So Nick, haven't heard that because that was great, Seth. What do you think? Do you think you're biting off a little too much? You think you're a little burnt out, or you think you're kind of getting bored? It's you're doing the same old thing over and over again. It's just too easy.
I don't know. I don't think I'm getting burnt out or doing the same thing over and over again. That's what I don't know. I think it's just trying to switch up like what I'm doing. I think the biggest thing why I wanted to change my routine is because, in the morning I do it to exercise, but eventually I kind of got burnt out from doing that. And I think if I did instead in the morning I get up and I write, I'll have a much more better chance of success. I just get up and on the basis level, I'm not moving around. I get up and I sit in front of my computer. I can do that. that's
anybody can.
Yeah, and I think also kind of sparked from what Seth was saying. Trying to throw in a bunch of low intensity things that aren't that are still productive but aren't very too oriented toward my goals. Like I was saying before, instead of when I've been able to come home and I've been feeling down and haven't been able to get any writing or any goals done, I've still been able to get a good amount of cooking done. I'll sit and I'll scroll through Twitter. That's one of those. That's a classic. Taking a break thought. You go on social media, but also Twitter is one of the things that I'm trying to engage with a little more. So at the very least, I'm not sitting in front of TV and watching Family Guy for the 800th time. I'm at least, despite the fact that I am on a social media platform and kind of just using it to waste time, I can still, maybe instead of just scrolling through my timeline, I start to do a little bit more of I use the Explore tab, go try to find other bloggers, try to, go through hashtags that are close to what I want to talk about, and see if there are, any type of other kinds of inspirations on it. Or just go out and go for a run. One of the things I always loved about running is just it's helped me clear my mind. I used to do that a lot. Where again, if I like what Seth was saying, maybe I'm working my mind too much, or I'm a little burnt out from just trying to think of what I want to write. So I just go out and go for a couple mile run, just kind of blank out my mind. One of the things that I joined my gym for, which I haven't taken advantage of, is because I had a pool. That's another thing that I always like to do was swim. Swimming is one of those low intensity, well, not low intensity, but I'm still working out, but it kind of clears my mind. I just go out and I just swim. So maybe try to take more advantage of that instead of just going to the gym and throwing on the weights. Maybe just go and swim for an hour. That'll help me. One of the things that I've noticed from the past 2 days is towards the end of the day, now. I start getting a little bit more motivated. So last night after the game was over, I actually went on my apartment and did a bunch of stuff. So
12 at night?
What? Yeah, well, it was 11:30. Yeah, I got to bed a little late last night because
no wonder you have time.
I put off all these things that I wanted to do during the day because I was being all down and shit. And then I'm like, oh, well, now that I'm motivated, I might as well get it done. But I was kind of tired this morning.
Listen. I love the ideas. I mean, you said that you're still getting stuff done, so it's not like you're just watching endless reruns of TV, just mushing your brain. You're still cooking. You're getting stuff done. You're not slacking off at work, which is also very important. But you just need a little spice. So there's a couple things that I like to do. Like Seth said, I think it depends on what the occasion is. If you're too overwhelmed and there's too much crap going on, to break it up into small victories. And I think we mentioned this, or I mentioned this on the one that we talked about with habits, but you got to build them. If there's no momentum, if there's too much shit coming from too many places, and you're just working on things that are, due yesterday, or that you think are due yesterday, you get overwhelmed and you start not caring about anything. But if you build those small victories, you break goals up into small manageable things that you could do today. You start checking things off that list. It makes you feel a lot better, and you see that progress, that you're getting close to it. One thing that I've noticed, I always hit these slumps when I'm studying for an exam. I'll be studying for an exam, and I'll just be doing practice problems for like 12 hours a day. And I'll get real bad. I'll hit a slump like real bad, like borderline depression. But what I'll do is I'll see that test date. I don't know. I just made up this term, but a milestone of misery, like a turnaround point. So I'll just see that date, and I'll just know, and I'll convince myself that after that date, fine. Everything's going to be fine. And what I'll do is I'll plan the things that I'm going to do after that date. I won't do it now, but I'll start planning the things that I'll do after that date. So when I study for a test, I'll think about I'm studying. I don't have time to do it right now, but I'll plan out all the stuff that I'm going to do when I have all this new time that I didn't have previously. So that also brings me to another point. I think a lot of planning helps you get out of slumps because a lot of times when I hit slumps is that there's a lot of things that I want to do and that I get really depressed that I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it now. And that I almost get paralyzed that since I know I'm not, there's too much stuff, I decide, well, I'm not going to do anything. There's nothing I can do, so I'm not going to do anything. So planning up into small, manageable goals really helps with that. Makes it seem a lot more manageable, and you get motivated once you realize that what you want to do is manageable. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. And then again, you mentioned this before. Sometimes you're burnt out and you just want to take a break. Take a break and just go on a vacation. And I know that I said I have a lot of days coming up in November. I don't know what Seth's schedule is like, but Nick, you also have a lot of days in November. I promise you I will go on a vacation with you in November, man. I am so down to do whatever.
Yeah, and another good thing on top of the vacation, just the vacation in general, is it gives you something to look forward to. So, kind of go off what you were saying, your small victories plan, and then you're thinking, like you said, you're seeing the dates beyond when you have to take the test. I'm seeing, we're going on vacation in a month. So that if I could just get all my writing, not all my writing, but like have like small stepping stones to get there, something to look forward to. It's like, all right, I could, not do anything today, or, I could just, take one step forward and then, knowing that I'm going to have that time off in a month.
All right. Well, here's what I'll do for you. I will promise you we will go on a vacation in November, and we'll start planning it tomorrow.
Cool. Let's, I would like to task Seth with finding us a location, because I want to do something that's low intensity, no type of, I guess low intensity is kind of it's low brain intensity, I guess would be the thing. Yeah. I'm cool with going on like a hike or something, but like nothing with any type of, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, like sightseeing. It's like, it's just something like when we go to my cabin, but I don't really want to go to my cabin in this scenario. I kind of want to go somewhere else.
You don't want to follow a schedule, like a strict schedule where we're on timelines and we got to
do what we did when we went to my cabin, but do it somewhere else. Like just go to a place far away where we can just chill and sit around. Maybe do like a hike or do any type of physical activity. I'm cool with that. But
the discussion has begun.
Seth is the travel master, so I think he would probably.
How many days you got? And how many days you got for the rest of the year that you got available, Seth?
I got 3, but I don't think I could use any in November.
No.
All right. Well, maybe it's just me and you, Nick. If we could, I don't know if I have a weekend in November, but if I got days, so we'll talk. But I promise you, we'll do something.
Okay. We'll figure something out. But on top of that, it sucks you couldn't come, Seth. But if you do have any suggestions, I'm obviously open. I know you were like I said, you were the travel blog / traveling master.
I do. I got some ideas.
Our resident Seth.
Good. And it would be cool to have another super awesome group meetup maybe in December when you do have a little bit more time.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Seth probably has used a good amount of his time because of all these trips he's been taking.
I know. Right? I can't believe he's got this many days. All right, Nick. So I think we had a really solid discussion. I think we not only found out what causes slumps, but we brainstormed a couple ideas of how to get out of them. How do you feel after this discussion?
Yeah, you guys definitely helped get the ball rolling a little bit on me thinking of other ways to get out of it. Definitely going to take some ideas out of it. I think the biggest thing, well, the two biggest things I'm taking out of this conversation is I got to get up tomorrow morning and hopefully every morning the rest of the week, and then just get stuff done in the morning, because that doesn't, during the day, that hasn't really been my problem. It's been afterwards. And then have a set list of low intensity things to do, where I come home and I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm in a slump. I don't feel like doing any writing. So then instead of sitting on the couch and watching TV, I'll have a low intensity thing to do. All right, so spend a little bit of time just browsing Twitter, maybe go to the gym, go for a quick swim, just to clear your mind, and hopefully that helps.
Or maybe
push me out of it, instead of like having to worry about, oh, you have to spend every every minute after you get home pursuing your goals.
Mention that I forgot to mention, it's also good to spend time. It's easy to get deeper and deeper into a slump when you're alone. But with people who, when you spend time and you converse with people and you realize that people really want to see you enjoy things and see you motivated and see you going, that gets you going. So I encourage you, spend time with people you enjoy. Call us and we'll get you hyped up, man. I got energy for days. So
for days.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Any other closing comments?
Stay motivated.
Stay motivated. Do it,
Try.
man. Do it.
I do what I can.
All right.
Just do it.
All right, America. I hope you got something out of this. This is, as always, a super awesome group, and hopefully you guys can get out of slumps by yourselves. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.